There we go. Okay. Welcome back, creatures of the night, to another chapter of my bonus watch along series, like taking a look back at the road for the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane, with my very own Canadian brother of destruction, Kanenite10, from Instagram. Today we're continuing with the King of the Ring double feature, one part at a time. We're kicking it off with the pre-main event, Hell in the Cell, Undertaker versus Mankind. Probably the most infamous and famous Hell in the Cell in WWE history. And I thank you again, Kanenite10, for joining me here today. You looking?
Of
I'm.
course. I
Uh,
was gonna say, like, not even infamous cell match. This is probably the most famous match.
yeah,
Like, maybe we got like Hogan Andre, Hogan Warrior, and then probably Undertaker Mankind. This has to be one of the most famous matches ever.
it's so famous. You know, every time they have promo packages for the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, a match, Undertaker, Mankind, any of those two returns or anything like that, they always show clips from this match. Undertaker, tossing him either off the cage or through the cage, the tacks, anything that.
The off the cage is the most played clip, and like that's one of the most famous clips. And I believe, fun fact, I think I remember reading that this was the first time the WWF used thumbtacks and or tacks in I Mankind had once stated in America in general.
That's crazy to think about.
I mean, I could be wrong on that. When was Kane and Mankind's Hell in a Cell match? That was after this one. So yeah. So this is quite possibly truthful with the thumbtack thing.
Yeah, because I know, yeah, Mankind uses it again against Triple H in like 2000.
Well, he also uses them against Kane in that match on Raw.
Really?
Yeah, that cell match on Raw, that little known, it was after this one. And Foley also wrote in his book when I don't know if you've seen that match, but at one point Foley starts going up the cell and Undertaker pulls him off halfway through the announce table.
Yes.
And
That's
Foley said that hurt worse than this top of the cage fall, the one halfway up on Raw.
wow.
He wrote that his ass merely grazed the table and his head and shoulders just hit the cement.
Oh my God.
But yeah, he used tacks in that match. Nobody really bumped in them. Funny enough, like he poured them out. Kane knocked him down, kind of into them, and then later he gave Kane a pile driver, and Kane ended up sitting in them, and he had a whole ass full of tacks. And that was fun fact. That was also one of the last times, if not the last time, that he wore the double sleeved attire because uh, some of my other Kane friends on Instagram have pointed out that he ripped his sleeve in that cell match against Mankind, and he didn't wear it anymore after that. And that was in August of '98, I believe.
That's crazy.
I
I'm
could be wrong,
wow.
but I some little fun fact of Kane history there for you, I guess.
I love the fun facts of Kane history. That's why I love doing this deep dive into the entire Brothers of Destruction history between them because it correlates so well. It's two paths just running parallel to each other with their history. And you got to add Mankind in there sometimes because, like I said on my podcast episode last week, talking about the Boiler Room Brawl, that turn and from Paul Bearer, with Mankind, siding with Mankind. That's the catalyst that starts everything. It starts the Undertaker's formation to like the the darker persona. You get the eventual debut of Kane.
Yeah, that started Kane right there.
Yeah,
You're saying, yeah, that starts Kane right there.
that's Kane right there. That double turn from Paul Bearer. It turns Undertaker, puts him in a downward spiral, and becoming more darker. You get the Lord of Darkness eventually, the Ministry. You get the debut of Kane, because and then Paul Bearer, a year later, telling him when Undertaker's champion, I have the secret, and I'm gonna tell everybody if you don't come back with me and stuff like that. It's just so crazy to think about that. And Mankind is just, as we're gonna see today, just a little piece in the Brothers of Destruction history. That's was like a turning point right here.
I got a bit of a question for you that you probably know the answer to. So under Paul Bearer obviously turned on the Undertaker, joined sides with Mankind, and then is that what happened? Undertaker became WWF champion, and why did Paul Bearer want him back?
I know Undertaker becomes champion like a few months later at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then like the next month, like he defeats Mankind again in a championship match. He burns Paul Bearer's face. And then as Undertaker becomes more dominant of a champion, Paul Bearer wants to manage him again, so he's managing a champion.
So did he kick Mankind out? Like, did he ditch Mankind?
Yeah, he kicked Mankind out, and then he tried Vader, and then Undertaker defeats Vader at Canadian Stampede. And then the next one is Farouk. And then when Undertaker's facing Farouk, then Paul Bearer is back with him. He wants to like rejoin him so that he doesn't tell the world Undertaker's secret.
Well, that's what he uses. So he wants to join the Undertaker. I assume the Undertaker says no, and then Paul Bearer threatens him with the secret, and then Undertaker joins him. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
And then what happens eventually where Paul Bearer reveals the secret? Undertaker just is fed up with him, or what?
I think Paul Bearer says the secret anyway.
Well, I thought Undertaker did something, and then Paul Bearer finally like revealed the secret.
Yeah, I think Undertaker just eats up Paul Bearer one time on Raw.
And what was the catalyst to that, I wonder?
I really don't know about that, because I think he's just, because I know Undertaker is like he tombstones Farouk like 3 times at the end of the match at King of the Ring, because Paul Bearer keeps telling him to do so. And then I think it's just something like Paul Bearer keeps like egging him on, and he's just like he has enough of him, so he just like turns his back on Paul Bearer again. And then
that makes sense.
Paul Bearer decides to reveal the secret. And then that's the one that Undertaker comes out in street clothes, I think, and beats him up.
With the secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically in street clothes. Like I think he's in tights, but then a plain shirt or something, isn't it?
That's what Kane told me.
Yeah, that's a great promo. I think we've talked about it before. A fan actually attacks Paul Bearer during that, right before that promo, eh?
That's right.
Undertaker, Paul Bearer's coming out, and she just goes and grabs his legs, and Paul Bearer, being a little top heavy that he is, just tips over, and and then they have to get the woman off of him. Yeah, that's a great promo. I love that promo, and I love Paul Bear is such a good storyteller, such an old school manager, so much talent to him. And I really like the aspect of at the end, like Undertaker is sort of like, who told you this sort of thing? And then he's, Kane told me and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Such good stuff. And yeah, Mankind, big history of both these guys. Mankind was tag team champion twice with Kane right around this time here in the summer of '98. So
yeah, and
because it was SummerSlam that they lost the tag belts, so that was only 2 months later here.
Yeah,
and I believe Undertaker and Austin beat Kane and Mankind for the titles, and then Kane and Mankind got them back from them, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and in between that, losing it to the Outlaws, they lose it to Undertaker and Austin, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, they lose it to them again on Raw.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So much title switching going on around that time.
So much, and so much history, and And King of the Ring is so important to Undertaker and Mankind. That's their first match in '96. That's the one Undertaker faces Mankind for the first time, and then 2 years later we get the Hell in the Cell match. And it's just
They
like,
always had good matches. I always liked Mankind. Like even growing up, I liked Mankind. He was cool, like very character and very Foley's just a super talented guy for him to go from like Cactus Jack to this deranged Mankind sitting in the boiler room and it just fantastic stuff. I was lucky enough to have met Foley and got a mandible claw from him when my independent wrestling promotion said they were bringing in Mick Foley. I told the promoter, I said, I'm taking a mandible claw. End of discussion. So
that's
that's something that
awesome.
8-year-old me, I think, would be pretty cool. I have the sock actually too still.
Really? That's so cool.
Yeah, so cool. And man, Foley must have made off like a bandit from that show because we had a lot of people and I saw him walk in with a pack of Walmart socks, like just a multi-pack, and he sat there before the show drawing on all the socks, drawing the faces and signing them. And then he sold each sock for, I don't know, 30, $35 a pop. And I mean, for what, a $5 pack of socks? Good for him,
Right?
right?
Good for him. That's awesome. And just like you said, Mankind's such a character-driven storyteller. He fits right in with Undertaker and Kane, especially around this time. It's perfect, perfect storytelling.
Yeah, I love character wrestling. I am not a character to this extent, but I love gimmicks. I love character wrestling, and yeah, this is just perfect stuff.
Yeah, it is. And as we'll see in the main event, the first blood match between Austin and Kane, that Undertaker and Mankind make cameo appearances. So this match, again, like what we've been saying, it's a perfect segue into what Undertaker and Kane, their storytelling is. Because,
Perfect.
it's all like morphs into like one big storyline.
Yeah, everybody's just integrated with everybody.
Yep, everybody's integrated with everybody.
All right, well, should we? I got Mick Foley. He's just switching chairs in his hand right now. So,
Yep. Kanenite10, he is all set up on Daily Motion. Um, what time stamp do you have on Daily Motion for the people who want
I
to
have
watch?
122 on Daily Motion. 1 minute and 22 seconds.
1 minute, 22 seconds. And I am queued up on Peacock at 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 52 seconds. So when I say 3, 2, 1, we shall hit play and watch the most famous Hell in the Cell match take place. Are you ready?
I am.
Awesome. So 3, 2, 1, play.
JR's commentary, like obviously it's very memed and you know what I mean, but like his commentary is just phenomenal. The stuff in the beginning, even he was born Mick Foley in Long Island, New York. I love that. His manifestations as Dude Love and Cactus Jack are infamous, but none are more deranged than Mankind.
And that's perfect. That's
His
perfect way.
scarred body, he's missing half an ear. Sorry, yeah, I'm not done. I got it memorized. And
Sorry.
the steel is still at home. And the King, like the things the King says in this match too. Like, don't get me wrong, they're a great commentary duo, but there's just something different about this one.
Yeah, there is.
Fun fact, I don't know if you've read Mick Foley's book or not.
Not in a long time, but I have in the past.
Yeah, his first one's actually a great read, but he wrote that he considered the first Hell in a Cell match a great match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he didn't know what to do because he felt that him and Undertaker were going in cold, which they were, just into a cell match. He said, I'm out of shape. Undertaker has a broken foot. What do we do? And he says Terry Funk told him to start on top of the cage after they watched that Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. And Foley wrote, last time I listened to Terry Funk, I ended up with third-degree burns all over my arm. You'd think I know better than to listen to Terry Funk. And he also wrote that had he gone up there earlier in the night, he wouldn't have done it.
Wow.
He said that was his first time. Apparently, that's what I read anyways, that was his first time up there.
Yeah, that's right. I remember Vince asked him, have you been up there? And he lied to him and said yes.
Oh, jeez.
The one and only, the phenom of the World Wrestling Federation. And I love this. I love the entrance with the blowing up fire.
You can definitely see the Undertaker is favoring his foot, too.
Yeah. I think he's had that. Oh my God, I don't know how long he worked with that broken foot.
How did he do it, I wonder?
I know it was broke for a while, and he didn't get it fixed until the end of the year because it was still broken with the Buried Alive match with Austin.
That's impressive. Like, I remember also reading, like, Foley said something to the Undertaker, and the Undertaker's like, how can I complain? I only have a broken foot or something.
Yeah, it's amazing what his body feels.
Here's your cloak again with no headpiece, eh?
Yeah.
Unforgiven, same as Unforgiven.
Yeah, same as Unforgiven. He gets.
Well, Unforgiven was the month before, right?
Yeah, Unforgiven's the month before.
Late April. Oh, I hit an ad.
You want me to pause?
No, I'm okay. I just skipped the ad.
Okay.
I didn't know when it would. Oh, another ad. That's great.
Hey, I know. I'm on Peacock. I know.
I don't know. I don't know if you get ads too in the middle of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ad is over, and yeah. Undertaker's standing there. He's just taking off his cloak or robe or whatever you call that. Mm-hmm. There's nothing between the Undertaker and the concrete floor but imagination.
I have it paused right now. He's just punched Mankind to get him away from him. Let me know when you're there.
Okay. I will. There's the first punch to Mankind. Okay. Second punch. Third punch. Imagination. He's even struggling to get up there. Also, Undertaker learns very quickly as you watch them walk, and they're breaking the bungee ties or whatever. Undertaker's just so smart. You can tell he's just a very wise, like, thinks everything through type of man.
Yeah, you can tell.
I would love to just like meet him and sit and chat with him because I think it would just be such an interesting conversation. Because as soon as you see the zip ties start popping, Undertaker starts walking on the beams, which is.
Oh my God! Yeah, they just broke through.
I wonder what they're thinking at that point, right?
Like, good thing we didn't go through.
And look at the Undertaker, he's smartening right up.
He's standing on the beams. Yeah, he said that later on when he chokeslammed him through, if he did not stand on the beam, he would have went down with him.
That would, yeah. So much room for error in these. And like right off the bat, boom, there we go.
Oh my God, that's still. And just look at
I love all the camera angles.
Yeah, that is still the most famous.
I like JR's pleas, like, somebody get out here, really. I mean it.
My God.
Like, he's pleading. Oh.
Wow.
Mick Foley said in that one moment, everything he had ever done in his whole career had been nearly nullified, and if anything, better or worse, he will be remembered for that.
Yeah, and he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's say 30 years from now, I mean, I don't want to put it out there in the universe, but if Mick Foley has passed away in 30, 40 years, this is what he will be remembered for.
Yeah, he'll always be remembered for this. Yeah. That's a foregone conclusion. Yeah.
Like, everything he had done is nullified to that point. Fun fact, apparently in 1999, Time, they always do their person of the year, and they did write-in submissions, and Mick Foley was beating everybody with write-in submissions. Everybody was writing him in. And they either pulled the contest or took him out of it or something.
That's unfair, but media didn't
Just
like it.
shows how big wrestling was, too.
Yeah, how big wrestling was, but media never liked it.
That, too, yeah.
This is just so it's so crazy how like at least 10 minutes of the match is nothing.
A drama, though, right? Like, when's the last time you watched this match?
A few months ago, I think.
Oh, it wasn't too long. Okay.
No.
It took me a lot of years before I finally saw this really in its entirety. Like I said, I was a teenager. I remember where I was when I watched this match with
Really?
my brother on the Tombstone. Yeah, we were
Oh,
driving somewhere for hockey, and we were in a restaurant, and I had a portable DVD player, and I had the Tombstone DVD, and we were watching the
okay.
Tombstone DVD, and my brother was like, "Oh, wait till you get to this match," and we were sitting there, and I remember I was probably, I don't know, 14 or 15 at the time, if that, 14 maybe, and it was just, yeah, wow.
I still
Can't
remember
believe what I'm seeing.
I remember watching for the first time on the Phenom VHS tape.
Right. The match was on there?
Yeah, like the highlights of it.
Oh, the highlights. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what
Was-
that Phenom VHS tape. They really gave you only like the big highlights.
I was gonna say those VHSs back in the day, they didn't really give you matches; they just gave you highlights.
Yeah, because it
Oh, I
like
hit
an
another
hour.
ad.
It was an hour long, and they had to fit like 6 matches in there.
That's fair. I hit another ad just to let you know.
Okay, I'll pause it. So we're paused right now for all those who are listening. So it's
I'll
just
tell you when. We got 10 seconds to ad, and they just started lifting the cage when
yes,
just before the ad
yeah, same here.
kicked in.
It's so crazy. And I remember,
And we're back. The cages, yeah, starting. That's like, I'd like to go into Undertaker's memories and just see, like, what's it like to be on a cage that's literally, he has to be 30 feet in the air now at the end of this, or close.
yeah, he was.
Maybe not quite 30, 25 feet,
I know.
because they raised the cage quite a bit to get Mankind out. The cage is already 16 feet.
I know that they had a network special like Untold where they had Undertaker and Mankind talking about this, and he was like thinking when he was being raised, like, how far is this gonna go? Because he was worried that he may hit the top of this thing here.
The ceiling.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel like there must be walkways and beams and stuff that he wouldn't just get straight up squished at least, but
but it's so crazy being lifted when you're on top of that thing.
I mean they have to I heard you hear King and he's like they're lift do they not know the Undertaker's up there and like JR made the point they got to get Mankind out though, right? Still standing on the beams.
What a shot though. What a shot.
Oh yeah.
As quickly and as unusual as this match has started, it has ended.
If only they knew, eh? Yeah, see all the beams and skywalks and lighting and stuff. Like it definitely wouldn't squish them against the roof, but oh, I just hit that part, the unusual.
Undertaker's coming down on our side, King. Yeah, I'm out of here. Oh my
You're a
gosh.
couple seconds ahead of me.
I still can't believe Undertaker's doing this with a broken foot.
Oh,
He
you can
does.
tell he's laboring pretty hard on the way down.
I can't
He's
believe
really
he,
taking his time.
I can't believe he does all the rest of the year with a broken foot because he doesn't get any time off during the rest of the year.
No, here's Mankind standing up in the aisleway. So
Oh my
I
god.
like the look. Look. The crazy thing is when Undertaker hops down from the cage, you can tell that hurts.
Yeah, yeah. I always cringe because you can see it.
Oh yeah. Mankind wrote, I really wish the Undertaker had to put that chair in a different spot.
Yeah,
See,
right?
look at Undertaker walking along the beams. So smart.
Good God. That's it.
He literally will not stand on the cage unless he has to. Oh, now he is. He's still on the beam, you're right. Yeah. That chair hit him in the face. I'm sure you're aware, but
Yeah,
he's knocked out. The That's It, he's dead is just poof.
yeah. That's it. He's dead.
He asked the Undertaker, like, what'd you think after you put me through? And he said he thought he killed them.
Yeah, he really thought he killed him.
Yeah, that chair did all the damage, though. That's
He was asking Funk if he's breathing.
what really. Mick Foley says he remembers bits and pieces if he's bleeding.
If he's breathing.
See, there's the foot. There you go. Oh, breathing. Jeez.
Yeah.
Undertaker asked Funk that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they need to get some time, so here's an attack on Terry Funk. And
He's got chokes on out of his shoes.
because he flops around after.
Oh my god.
Everybody wants to know too how the tooth got in his nose. My old promoter thinks that Mick Foley put it there himself, but my God, oh, that ring is like concrete.
My god.
He didn't even bump, he just crumbled.
Oh no. There's shoes, there's caps, there's a cage hanging.
How is this Undertaker attire not made? Like, what is this top? It's just a normal shirt? Oh, I hit another ad. Like, what is this? Just a shirt that's got, like, cuts?
Yeah, that's what I always thought. It was just like maybe like just a normal cut shirt because it doesn't even. I don't know if it has the emblems on it.
Yeah, it doesn't really have anything on it.
No, that's right. It's just a normal cut shirt.
Okay, we're back. We're back now. That's what I wondered. It's like such a famous.
It's so crazy. Yeah, it's such a famous match, but it's just a normal cut shirt.
He's just doing the old school now, and Mankind is just crotched him.
Oh, I know. I think I'm maybe about 10 seconds ahead of you.
I was just letting you know because apparently Foley, when he was smiling here, he wasn't trying to smile. He was trying to stick his tongue through the hole in his lip. But with his beard and blood and whatever, it came across that he's smiling. Because if you look, his tongue is over his bottom teeth, eh?
Yeah.
So he's not actually smiling. He's not trying to, anyways. And that's a pretty famous shot too. That coming around the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mick Foley's dislocated shoulder. I can't believe that he got back up there with this. Like, I'm sure the shoulder got put back in, but man.
Yeah, you just think, yeah, these two after this match, they're not done for the night. They still
No, not quite.
come in at the main event.
I often wonder because Undertaker hits Foley with these steps and he hits him on the dislocated shoulder side. I wonder if Foley purposely did that to try and make his shoulder feel a little better or something, or
Maybe. Undertaker's going for a dive. Oh,
you can blatantly see the blade in his hand. Even before he dives, he has it in his hand ready to go, and the camera stays there while he is blading. That's something I big time remember. Oh, these punches, I know you were ahead of me, but these uppercuts against Foley when his back is against the cage are just phenomenal.
right.
They look so good.
They do. Undertaker's always a good striker. Good puncher.
Very, very. That's like a very unappreciated part of wrestling is good punches. Yeah, Undertaker's just hitting the ropes for the dive, and you can tell he has the thing in his hand already. And he just hit, and you can see it blatantly between his fingers, and he's doing it, and the camera's still there, and now it goes away.
The crowd is so into this match already. They never let go from when that first throw off the cage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as they should be.
And we should point out, this is the era of Undertaker that's in your new Bendham ring set that you got.
That's true. Minus the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's wearing.
And he's glows and yours glows in the dark.
I love glow-in-the-dark things. This pile driver on the chair is disgusting too, by the way. Beautiful. I always love the pulled trunks pile driver. Yeah, it's pretty wild that they still had a pretty somewhat decent match after these two incredible falls.
Yeah, it's a good match.
I mean, lots happened. Pile drives him on the chair, leg drops him, chair on his face.
Yeah, we have good action on the outside of the ring.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff goes unnoticed and forgotten just because of the bumps that Mankind takes.
The more famous stuff, yeah.
Thumbtacks.
Oh, you're at the thumbtack point?
Yeah, he just got the bag.
He just pinned him from the leg drop, and now he's laughing.
I have it paused. Let me know when he pulls one handful out.
All right, I will. Double arm DDT.
Thumbtacks.
Fun fact, I don't know why, but that's a move I've never liked. Is the double arm DDT. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I understand it, and I understand how it can make it worse. It's just something I never really cared for, or thought that it looked great when it was done. I don't know. Oh, I just hit an ad, so we're going to be a few seconds till he's just going to get in the ring, and now. Fun fact, I've done thumbtacks before, and they're not as bad as you'd think.
Really?
No, they're really not.
Huh.
Not if you give it, like, you actually, like, commit to it, it's not so bad. I've done lots of worse things than thumbtacks, that's for sure.
Ooh. I have to know. I mean, I want to know what's worse.
All right, I'm just getting to. He just dumped out a handful.
Okay.
Well, like things like bumps on the floor are worse, or like had bad rings that, like, bottom out and stuff. Like that's worse.
Oh. Yeah.
But thumbtacks really aren't that bad. I've never bumped on a ladder. I imagine that would be worse.
What a visual! Have all those shiny thumbtacks in there.
Oh yeah. I love the part where Mankind puts on the mandible claw, and Jerry Lawler and the King say it at the same time. They jinx each other. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
I haven't. I have to take a look for that.
Yeah, it's coming up right away here.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
They both say mandible at the same time. I don't know. It always cracks me up. I think that's a good call. The one-loss record against The Undertaker is Mankind has earned. I like that.
Oh, he's up.
No.
He's moving towards.
Yep. I like how Foley holds the ropes for him and helps him get up, and then he lets go.
Oh, my God. Oh, he's rolling in it.
Yeah, he pretty much, it's almost like he missed it. Now he's rolling. But then the choke slam in it, that looks, these old rings, too, like, they don't have a lot of give, man. Like,
yeah, it's basically wooden.
We had a thing done at the Saddle Dome once, the Calgary Saddle Dome, and Bret Hart lent his training ring for it, for the Hitmen. And
nice.
We were all just out there posing for pictures in like the concourse or whatever. And some of the guys, I never did, but some of the guys took a bump in the ring. And some of them, like a couple of my buddies did. And they're like, this one guy, he's a pretty tough guy. And he said it sucked. Like he's like, it was the worst. That's how stiff these rings used to be.
And here's the tombstone.
And now, I love the legs to the side tombstone.
Yeah. Mercifully, it's over.
Unbelievable.
And as Mankind has recounted many times, he goes back to the backstage and apologizes to The Undertaker for forgetting to do the thumbtacks.
Yeah, I had heard they asked him, did I use tacks, or he apologized, or whatever it may be. And Mick, look at your arm. Isn't that what the answer was? Yeah, Mick, look at your arms.
Look at your arms. They gave you of their soul.
Yeah. JR, wow, what a caller.
Yeah, Undertaker's waiting around to see if he's okay. I always noticed that. He didn't exit the ring right away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think he's like waiting to make sure Mankind's okay?
Yeah, I think he's waiting for the call.
Just that Mankind's alive.
Yeah. You good?
Whoops, I dumped out for a sec. I was gonna say, all right, I was saying, good call. Like, yeah, the body, mind, and soul. Undertaker was really waiting around for Mankind. And when has the Undertaker ever done a suicide dive?
Good call. I don't know offhand.
That's the only one that I can certainly ever think of. And he did it, and it was straight up suicide right into the cage.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to do an Undertaker. Well, that's what I call it, the over-the-top rope dive into the cage.
No.
I mean, he probably could. He's talented enough, but a suicide dive makes more sense. But like, when have you ever seen the Undertaker do a suicide dive? I don't think he ever has that I've ever seen. You would know better than I would.
If he did it any other time, I would imagine it may have been like late 2000s, I would say. Maybe it's something he may have tried on SmackDown or something. I'm not too familiar with a lot of SmackDown matches. But
that's a good one. If anybody knows, message us on Instagram and tell us if you've ever seen the Undertaker do a suicide dive.
I'm guessing that was something that may fit in like his 06, 07 era, if anything.
But I was going to say, it's not something, he didn't do dives all the time. Like, those are pay-per-view things, wasn't it? Yeah. Or even, was he just doing them exclusively at WrestleMania at that point?
No, it's pay-per-view things.
Even in 06, 07, it was pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I wasn't sure because I know near the end it became
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania later.
This is crazy. Yeah, he got all the thumbtacks stuck in his boot.
Oh, yeah, that's like the worst part.
What a match. What moments and sound clips and everything that they have from this. It's amazing. And they're just picking the thumbtacks out of Mankind's arms.
Uh, yeah, as they're walking them, yeah, just insane.
It is.
Yeah, that match is insane. I agree. The one of the most famous matches, one of like I know we're doing an Undertaker Kane watch along, but I feel like these
Yeah,
things are
these
integral to their story.
it is. It
These two
is
matches, this one and Kane and Austin as well.
yeah, it's pivotal. It's pivotal that King of the Ring 98 to both Undertaker and Kane's story, that even though they have separate matches, it's important to discuss because it's so important to their legacies.
Well, this is like I mean Undertaker not so much, but this is probably Kane his most important even now I'd say his most important other than his debut, his probably his most important one of his most important moments, certainly as a masked Kane. This is probably his most important
His
run
only
and
champion.
everything.
His
Yeah,
only
his only WWF title win, which I mean, me myself being biased, I always thought they could have probably snuck it on him somewhere else, but
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree also that it should have been longer than 1 day.
yeah, I understand. I don't know obviously the story behind it. I have heard that it was just meant to be a quick transitional thing. It always was. It wasn't a last minute decision or anything. One thing my brother told me, because I remember being a kid, my brother, he was a big wrestling fan, and talking to him about it. And he always said that it was so they could say Kane was WWF champion.
Yeah.
So, like, every time you come out, former WWF champion, right? Which kind of makes sense. Even if it was only for a day, you can still say it. And I mean, it's a pretty important one. It's Austin's first championship loss, too. Like right when Austin is red hot.
And it's a match basically that Austin had to lose because Kane can't bleed in his outfit.
Well, yeah, and he debuted the double sleeve attire for that match as well,
Yes,
which
you
is,
know,
I
immediately.
think, so funny. I think that would actually be pretty funny if you had like did like an abyss thing almost where he'd always bleed from the arms. You have a first blood match and the guy bleeds from is like Kane and he bleeds from his one arm. That'd actually be pretty funny.
It would been also cool to see, Austin try to tear at the outfit, try to get something open. I think they could
Yeah,
have.
and then he was trying to do the back of Kane's head for a while. That was
Yeah.
really cool. I haven't watched this match in God,
Shall we continue?
10 years at least.
Shall we continue on to it?
Not this episode, but
Okay.
I will definitely get a rain check for that one. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that one.
Yes. So we shall stop it here then. Um, fun times to look back at the Hell in a Cell match. Always, what more can you say that hasn't already been said? It's just so pivotal. It's so infamous. It's so famous.
This match has been truly discussed to death, which
Yeah,
comes with some of the most famous matches of all time, right? Like that's just what it is.
it is what it is.
And here we are adding to the discussion.
Yeah, because we have to. We have to. It's, at the end of the day, we're huge fans of, not only the product, but of Undertaker, Kane, and all those kind of characters in between. It's something we needed to discuss. And I'm glad that, having this sort of like look at, how they, for the first time in the whole year, that Undertaker and Kane take a separate path at a pay-per-view and then end up coming, right back to each other.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
no,
But
it's great.
because the first blood match had something, I haven't really watched that one in a full in a while. I usually, after the Mankind, I usually just like probably skip to the end to see like Undertaker and Mankind and like the fallout of that. So it's gonna be cool to see like your insight and what you like about this match and everything like that.
Yeah, I do know, like, obviously, I can admit, like, some Kane matches can definitely be more brawly and a little slower in places. And Undertaker, I will fully admit, is the better professional wrestler, but that's just how it is. But I remember growing up and really enjoying that match. And like I said, I haven't seen it, God, at least 10 years since I was a teenager, since I've seen that match. So I'm really excited to give it a
Yeah,
watch.
that is exciting. I love when you haven't seen matches in a long time and you come back to them. It's always a fun experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we will also another match that's not Kane and Undertaker. I would like to add the Shawn Michaels matches with the Undertaker.
The WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
a lot of a funny fun fact. A lot of wrestlers as well, myself included. That is our favorite match. That WrestleMania 25 match. I haven't watched it probably in a couple years now, but oh, the first time I watched it, I was blown away. Not that I know what I'm doing or know anything or am any better than anybody else, but when you wrestle, you can see things a little differently, or at least I'd like to think I do.
Of course.
That match is like perfect. Shawn Michaels is just so good. Undertaker is so good. They really mesh well together.
You do.
Oh, it's literally the perfect match.
Yeah, and I think I'm always biased towards, of course, the two WrestleMania matches between Shawn Michaels over Michaels and Undertaker's 97 matches because, as I'm biased towards the first run of Undertaker and Kane decide against the second, is because you get to see Undertaker win those matches. And
That's fair, yeah.
yeah, even though the
Yeah, no.
97 Michaels matches would take a great, Undertaker loses.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is just he's phenomenal. Like no doubt about it. He's a phenomenal wrestler, and so is the Undertaker. Don't get me wrong. Brilliant guys. But that WrestleMania 25 match, whew, I remember watching it the first time I had watched it front to back. I think I was at the gym just doing cardio, and I was just like being blown away.
Yeah, we'll have to add those because, yeah, then the timeline will be like right there between that. Then you get the Undertaker Kane 2010 and everything like that. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
like goes to the collection.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, because after 2001, there's like no Undertaker Kane interaction until 2004, and then after that,
Yeah, there's a little bit in '03 in the Rumble there, but not. They're different brands, so they're split, right?
yeah,
Which I would have loved to have seen a half-mask Kane and American Badass Undertaker. That would have been good, I think. Like especially Kane's lean and moving really well, and probably, truthfully, that era was probably the best wrestling and work of his career.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool, like, to have them have program around all three. That would have been nice.
And truly, like Undertaker was doing really good stuff around 2002, 2003, moving really well. American Badass,
Hmm.
just he was I mean, he's pretty much consistently good until he was getting a little more sporadic and slowing down, which I mean is expected. But I really liked his 2002, 2003 American Badass stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan of the badass era. So that'd be fun. It's gonna be fun to look back at that too. If you want, we can do the Rumble, just see their interaction.
Well, how is this Undertaker eliminating Kane?
Well,
So you look fondly upon that, I'm sure.
well, he doesn't win the Rumble, so it's like, oh,
That's fair. That was Lesnar,
yeah.
right? That was 2003. Pushed to the moon, but as he should.
Yep. So, Undertaker never truly only had Lesnar's number once or twice on a SmackDown, I think, in that time period. But what can you do?
He never beat him on a pay-per-view, eh?
No, not until SummerSlam 15.
Oh, was that when they laughed at each other?
Yeah,
And that was after Mania, wasn't it?
yeah,
Like after the streak, right?
that was it. The first battle, Unforgiven, goes to a no contest, so there's no real winner there.
Right, because he throws him through the entrance, right?
Yeah, I think they keep punching the refs as they come in and
Oh, right.
stop the match. So
But that's that one when he throws him through the entrance, right?
yeah, that's that one.
Because I've seen that clip a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. He beats him on a couple SmackDowns. Yeah, that's it.
Fun fact, I heard Lesnar, when he first started, this would have been 2001, he rode with the Undertaker and Kane, and he paid for gas and everything, like just to ride with them and
Wow.
pick their brains and learn from them. And like Undertaker and Lesnar are like good friends. I've heard,
Yeah, I've heard that too.
and yeah, I heard that he paid for he'd buy them meals or whatever it may be and ride with them and pick
Yeah,
their brains, which is good for Lesnar, smart.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Look at Lesnar now. He's always top.
Top guy.
Yeah, and
That's the dream. Wrestles a handful of dates a year and whatever.
yeah. I didn't even think he was coming back, and then he shows up. I like the new look he's got.
It's good.
Changes up his image.
And he looks a little more like well, I saw him when we were doing a backstage thing at Raw. There was a Raw taping nearby. I was a security on Raw, like a run-in thing, and Lesnar was there actually, and he just looks like that now. Like, not that he had the beard and the hair, but the way he dressed is like how he's basically dressing now. He walked in and he had a denim jacket on and blue jeans and
I like how we
showed
start.
up halfway after the show was done.
We start off talking about Undertaker, Mankind. We end up talking about Brock Lesnar. Just the way that these things tend to take on a life of themselves.
The nature of the beast.
Right. Well, I cannot wait
Yeah.
to continue on King of the Ring 98 with the first blood match. That's going to be fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to it, my friend.
Fun to pick your brain on that and then combine it into one big watch along episode.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for this. I can't wait to the next one. Can't wait to talk about the latter half of King of the Ring 98.
Yes.
Sweet. And any parting words?
Creatures of the night. I don't know, whatever you say. I can't remember.
That's okay. Until we continue on, we keep on rolling, baby. Till next time.
That's what it is.
Okay, and we are back to continue our double feature of King of the Ring 1998. Took a little bit of a break between matches, but if you are watching this on YouTube or listening on the podcast, it is all one big giant episode for your viewing and listening pleasure of King of the Ring 1998, a pivotal pay-per-view in both The Undertaker's career and Kane's career. As Undertaker and Mankind, as you just heard us discuss, fought in perhaps the most well-known and the most famous Hell in the Cell match in WWE history. Totally made Mankind's career and really solidified Undertaker as being the Lord of Darkness, this demonic character he's becoming in the ministry later on in the year. And it's really synonymous with Undertaker's career as a whole, is this Hell in the Cell match. And now as we turn to Kane with my good friend Kanenite10 from Instagram, because it was only fair if we were going to discuss The Undertaker and Mankind that we would discuss Kane and Stone Cold Steve Austin, as Kane captures his first and only WWF championship in the first ever First Blood match. And just what is some things that go through your mind here, Kanenite, as you have definitely watched this match before? Just some thoughts before we get into the match.
If we're talking about like me having seen it and stuff, obviously this is Kane's one-day reign. I'm growing up, I was always very salty about that.
Of course.
I remember asking my brother, he was older than me and a big wrestling fan as well. As a kid, sort of like, why did they only let Kane win it for a day? And he always said, like, so they could say he was WWF champion, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also Attitude Era, back and forth. It's kind of cool that this is Austin's first world title loss, because this is right after Mania when he beat Michaels here. And I haven't watched this match in probably 13 years or so, I'd say, since I was a teenager for sure. So it's been a while since I've seen this match. I know it pretty well, but yeah, it's more bittersweet for me, and it's also bittersweet in the sense that I kind of understand what they're up to with kind of funny how Kane's like laying on his back when he wins. Like, he didn't make Austin bleed, but there's kind of a bit of a bitterness to me that he didn't win the match, like he kind of won in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of makes him look weak in a way, in my opinion, but I don't know.
I can agree with that. And, and setting up this match, the promo beforehand, giving you the whole retrospective of the feud, Kane is talking through his voice device, saying, if he does not win, he's going to set himself on fire. So, you have all these forces working, against Kane and for Kane, actually in the same sense here, because, you got Paul Bearer on the side here who doesn't want to see Kane burn himself alive. And you got Undertaker, who also doesn't want to see Kane burn himself alive because they're still brothers. And
I believe that's why the Undertaker, that was his excuse as to why he helped him.
Exactly. Which, that's why we're going to see Undertaker come here to the aid of Kane, even though they've been through these wars in the months prior. They've been through a WrestleMania battle. They've been through an Inferno match. But at the end of the day, they're still brothers, and Undertaker doesn't want to see his brother set himself on fire because, there's probably something inside Undertaker, that's saying, only I get to do that. Only I probably get to set him on fire. He's not setting himself on fire. So it's like, and like I agree, it's bittersweet. Kane, should have had a longer reign. But, one thing you get to claim is Kane did beat Austin before The Undertaker did for the championship. So there's something you can definitely hang your hat on that.
I mean, my one hat hook that I have compared to your dozen hat hooks that you have, like, that's That's like comforting a kid who like lost a parent. It's like, well, at least you got the other one. Like,
Oh,
I don't know. No, I'm just teasing, but I was always bitter growing up. You know, you're a kid. You want to see your guy win the belt. That's the dream, right?
of
And
course.
I wasn't around for this, so I never saw my guy win the belt until 2010 when he won at Money in the Bank there. By then I was basically an adult, so and don't get me wrong, I was happy, but it's just not the same magic as when you're a child, right? But
Of course. And then your guy proceeded to destroy mine in that trilogy of matches. So
yeah, yeah,
I
I guess
digress.
that's the feather in the cap, I guess a little
Yeah,
bit.
I digress until we get to those trilogy of matches where I get to be salty to you.
That's fair. I mean, you got it, at least we both got some stuff. It's not just one or the other.
That's true. That's true. But you are watching it on YouTube, I presume?
I'm actually on Daily Motion.
Oh, Daily
YouTube
Motion.
doesn't have it.
So, where are you queued up on Daily Motion for those of us who are listening or watching that want to watch it there?
I'm at 14 seconds. I apologize for anyone watching on Daily Motion because it's going to be terrible quality.
Well, maybe a lot of people don't want the Peacock network, but if they do have the Peacock network, I am queued up at 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 35 seconds. It is right after Howard Finkel has announced that this match is the first blood match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and the lights have gone out. So, if you are ready, we shall count down from three and press play. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let us finish off this double feature of King of the Ring 1998, where we have already seen The Undertaker throw Mankind off the Hell in a Cell and through the Hell in a Cell through thumbtacks and steel chairs. Let us move on to Kane versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the World Wrestling Federation Championship match in a first blood match, the first ever for the company. In three, two, one, play.
I really like this. We were talking about it before we were recording, but I like how Fink introduces the following contest first blood match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and then the lights go out. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Solid Howard Finkel impression there, too.
Oh. This is also the debut of Kane's double sleeve attire.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that he may have won that on a Raw or something beforehand, but that is
As
good to
far
know.
as I know, that is the debut.
Nice.
Because I mean, that's the thing. He can't doesn't want to bleed, so he covers himself up, right?
Very smart, very smart. And of course, seeing this, you know Kane is gonna win just by this outfit. Because how can Austin win?
Yeah, I mean,
Unless he would tear at the outfit. I guess that's the only way. He would try to rip some kind of sleeve off.
yeah, Austin sort of tries to
But even then, I would think a first blood match you would have to win by cutting the head, cutting the face.
oh, he just says you draw first blood. That's sort of it. That could go. This is interesting. Kane stands the wrong way. And yeah, like I'm just
Yeah,
looking it up now. The Raw before was the Hell in a Cell tag match, I believe, correct?
that's right. What a
So
Raw.
I just looked that up, and Kane is in his single sleeve attire.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
this is the debut of this attire.
interesting. Yeah, he's standing the wrong way.
I also want to assume that this might be the debut of his third mask. I could be wrong there.
His third mask. Ooh.
Yeah, Kane fans, like we have charts listing all of his masks and stuff. And
Ooh.
his third mask is my personal favorite, and it is a favorite among the community.
Austin battling his staph infection.
The guy was just in the hospital a couple of days before. I can't. This man is tough. That's all I'm gonna say.
Everybody back here was tough.
That's true.
Yeah, whole
But to
different.
be in the hospital with 100 and whatever degree fever and to be wrestling a match, like
I know.
mad respect for Stone Cold. One of my friends actually in wrestling just had a staph infection as well and was in the hospital. So I always love how Kane kind of bumped and his head whipped back almost, like especially when he's getting a belt shot. Just
Yeah,
looked very, very brutal, especially that first belt shot there.
totally no selling the first belt shot though. Right up.
Oh yeah. So this is really smart. Take off the buckle and
It's interesting that you Kane fans have a whole chart for Kane masks. That's pretty cool.
there's yeah, outfit charts, but the masks have more per se
Hmm. I
because
know
there's a lot
us.
of masks and they're a little harder to tell apart somewhat.
I know us
I'm
Undertaker
going to
fans.
assume that this is the debut of this mask.
Us Undertaker fans, we keep track of his different attires and his different looks throughout the years. But
And we do that as well, but the masks are a little. I mean, there are different. You think he just has his one sleeve, but he's got numerous one sleeve attires actually.
that is so cool to find out. You learn something new here on the Collecting Dead Man podcast each and every week.
This double sleeve attire is the only one that he had though, and I believe his last time wearing it was actually the Hell in a Cell match against Mankind on Raw. He tore the sleeve in that match, and that was.
That's
I
right.
don't know why they didn't just patch it, but that was the end of that attire,
Huh. I
I
wonder if
believe.
I wonder if it's the same attire Undertaker wears when he masquerades as Kane.
Oh, it is 100%.
Yeah. I wonder if it's
Absolutely, it is.
yeah. I don't know if they would have to I didn't know if they made one especially for Undertaker, but I'm guessing he just wore Kane's.
Yeah, he would have just worn Canes for sure. Fun fact: this is very low quality, but you can see the front lowest spike is actually the leather. I assume wasn't long enough. It's in two pieces. There's a stitch in the middle of it. A little detail on that attire.
Oh yeah.
It might be a little harder in the backside of Kane right now, but
We are getting the Hell in the Cell lowered for some reason here. Some kind of shady business going on.
so what I was getting at is that's like the telltale of the same attire because if you watch the Undertaker stuff, it'll have the exact same that same spike will have the stitch in it, right?
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
You
So
see where
it's
I'm talking about?
yes. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely.
This is up there. If it's not, it's probably my second favorite Kane attire. Actually, I love the double sleeve attire.
You know what? I always thought he should have a double sleeve attire because they said he was burned.
Well, I
Basically,
think
whole
the
body.
thing was he was burned on most of his body, which is what they covered. He wasn't burned on the left side, so that's why they never covered it.
It's still, it would have been
I
cool.
agree, but I also think like too, like it's kind of cool that the one arm is out. Like it's very different.
Yeah, one has a glove hand, the other hand's bare.
Yeah, I always just took that right side of his body was burnt because that's the side that he's missing an eye and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I always took it that just that's the side that's burnt up basically.
It was such a letdown when they took off his mask and there was like nothing there. Such a letdown.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think they did pretty decent with Kane did a good job with like it was all psychological and stuff. I mean, you kind of
Yeah.
have to retcon people who saw his face, like when DX beat him up and unmasked him, and they're all wretched and his face is disgusting, right?
Mm-hmm. You would think it would be like almost like a Two-Face from Batman style.
Yeah, the way people reacted, but I
Uh,
mean, I understand you can't do that, but I think they did a pretty decent job with Kane just going absolutely psychotic and just it's all in his head and everything. And I think Kane did a good job at portraying that as well.
yeah, especially recent Unmasked Kane. He goes like totally berserk on Shane and all those people like that.
Yeah, and Austin and stuff,
Yeah, and
and
have him in the cuffs.
yeah, the house arrest stuff was pretty cool.
I remember that. I
I was
remember.
always a little disappointed at the Shane feud. I thought that made Kane look a little weak in a way. Like I understand what they're doing, but if Kane was that dangerous, Kane, I believe, should have just eaten Shane alive.
I remember him tombstoning Linda McMahon.
I always thought this was kind of funny. Kane started getting raised up now.
Yeah, like the Hell in a Cell gets lowered and now it's getting raised. Like who's in control of this?
Just a wacky match here.
It's like they didn't know what to do. They didn't know which way to go with this one.
Kane's actually pretty high. He's like 8 feet high.
Yeah, he had to get out. He had to get off of there.
He was getting pretty high there. Certainly wouldn't want to just fall and bump on the ground there either.
And we should say that this is the match the new Mattel Championship Showdown 2-pack is based off of.
That's correct. Yeah, a re-release of the double sleeve Kane.
But is it been released as a basic before?
Yes,
Oh,
just yes. Yeah, there was the Elite, of course, with the Undertaker. No, it was released as a basic. Series 74, I believe, was the basic.
oh, okay.
That's why I'm very curious as to what the mask sculpt looks like because it's re-released. Austin loved taking backdrops on the outside.
Yes. He loved to hang, yeah, Rock. He got it from Rock. He got it from Kane here.
Foley, I remember dude loved doing it to him.
Yes. I can't remember.
Always on the outside. Or in this era here, 98, 99, he loved taking backdrops on the floor.
Paul Bearer is up there. Paul Bearer is active. He's walking around back there.
Where around the stage? Oh yeah, there he is. I believe they slam on the ramp too, do they not? Suplex, I believe.
Like we were just saying, when Undertaker and Mankind were coming out of this stage, it's very reminiscent of the Royal Rumble and the WrestleMania stage here.
Yeah. Well, Unforgiven too was it Unforgiven sort of like this?
I think Unforgiven was just a sign, correct? Just like the
I can't
Unforgiven.
remember now. Oh, here's the suplex I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the other thing, like Austin has to feel like a bag of shit. He's 100, like I said, 104-degree fever. I'm pretty certain this is the debut of Kane's third mask because it looked like in the other Hell in a Cell, that tag one that I was looking at, it looks like he had one of his earlier masks because it was quite discolored, I believe, from what I saw.
Is that the reason why they changed masks so often because they got discolored?
I would assume so. I'm not 100% sure why. It's
Because to the naked eye,
when he debuted, he had two masks right off the hop.
because really to the naked
And
eye, you really can't tell many big differences here.
no, like I'll show you a chart after. You'll be able to see for sure with the chart.
We have to ask that.
Um,
We have to ask that Kane history guy on Instagram.
yes, that's where I see lots of the charts actually. Funny enough, the when he debuted, he had two masks, and like for example, at WrestleMania 14, that was his second mask, and he wore his debut mask and his second mask like sporadically. But I'm pretty sure this is a pretty clean looking mask, so I'm pretty sure this is the debut of the third mask, which is my favorite mask.
You could tell it's very glossy. It's like it looks.
Yeah, so it's like new, right?
Mhm. It looks like brand new. Yeah.
And his third mask he stopped wearing in late 98, early 99, I believe, because his original run he had four or five. Because I think,
Wow.
yeah, because I think his inverted mask was number 6. Fun fact: they say it's his second mask, but this is his third mask that was bought by WWE on the collection show on A&E.
This is the one?
This is the mask. Yeah.
Oh, I love that episode Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah, they actually show another one of his masks in some of the promo shots, but the one that the guy actually buys is this one.
Oh, that's so cool.
And this is the one, like, obviously it's my favorite mask, but this is the one, like, Kane won the WWF title in this mask. Like, this is the mask, man.
That's amazing. That's the mask Kane had.
Yeah, like he wins the title tonight, right? Like, this is the mask. Yeah,
Yeah.
his ring worn mask. Like, his ring worn masks are not out. There's one out in collector's hands. I'm not going to count his demon masks because I don't. There's so many of them. nobody can keep track. Oh, that was a good shot with that fan.
Yeah, and wrestlers loved using fans back then too.
Well, I mean, they're on the
I know.
commentating table, to be
Undertaker
fair.
fan against Rock, I think, and here's Austin used against Kane. Ooh, that was
Oh, there goes the ref.
a good ref bump.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is like the Kane mask in my opinion because this is the one he won the title in. What more can you want from a mask?
His front black flame is peeling.
Peeling.
Yeah, it's peeling off his. You see that? Right in the middle
I
there.
can't because the quality is so bad, to be honest.
Oh. Yeah, his one of his middle black flame is like peeling off itself.
That's the one that I was talking about that has the repair to it.
Huh.
Or maybe
Yeah,
that's a future repair that they add.
maybe.
Because I'll find you a picture. Earl Hebner needs medical attention.
Don't we all?
Funny enough, here's a photo of the Undertaker wearing it, but
Ooh, Kane missed that.
so I believe this is where Austin starts doing the back of his head, if I'm not mistaken.
Remember, if Kane does not win this match, he will set himself on fire, as JR has just reminded us.
I sent you a photo of the Undertaker in that suit, and you can see the
Mankind.
stitch. You can see the stitch in the middle of that spike that you're talking about. So is
Yes,
that where it's peeling? Like,
that
did it
is
get
where it's
torn?
peeling.
That's where it's peeling.
Yes, that is where it's peeling.
So during Kane's entrance, did you see the stitch there or anything, or is that just did it get torn? I wonder.
Yeah, it must have just got torn in the match. Oh, and Foley,
Well, when Kane was hanging up on the cell itself, maybe
it may have been where it was torn. Yeah.
I was gonna say afterwards you should. Oh,
Oh, with
I always
Foley.
like how Kane took stunners too. Kane always took him like a board. Like he didn't really fold up and go on his knees. He just kind of took it,
Here we go. Here's Undertaker limping with a
in a
broken foot
t-shirt.
and a t-shirt, limping to the aid of his brother.
Which I find funny that he said he did it to help Kane, but yet he's going to hit Foley and he hits Austin. So it's more an accident, if you will,
Yeah.
right?
Any way you would look at it, because he is going after Foley now.
Well, he's going after Foley the whole time. Like he said he was helping Kane, but like he was trying to hit Foley. Like, what do you mean?
Well, they had to write something, I guess. But now he is trying to wake up the ref, which he will use gasoline, because if that's the best way to wake up anybody, I guess.
That's what I've heard.
And
I
now,
wonder if that's like actually gas or if that's just something else. And Kane cracks.
oh, and Undertaker falls into the gasoline.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wonder if that's like actually it can't be.
I don't know.
It's funny that they talk about the fumes. Kane's not gonna let go of the chair.
No, it's his chair.
I like that. Rather than just dropping it. Austin always had a great chair shot.
But it's over. It is over. Austin is bleeding. He has lost this
I
first.
like how nobody really knows what's going on. Because they're like, okay, waiting in bated breath, and then think when he says new, the crowd kind of
Yeah, it's like, I was just noticing that. Yeah, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, everybody's like waiting in bated breath. Winner of this match, everybody's silent and still silent. No, there you go. I can't believe Austin. Like I'm just realizing too, the guy has a staph infection. He's bleeding. He had the blade. Jeez.
And that's how it ends. A shot of Vince McMahon being very happy with the result of Austin losing the championship to Kane. And as
I'm,
you know, the following night on Raw, Austin wants a rematch. Vince and Paul Bearer say no, but Kane is the one to give Austin the rematch.
and he says that because he knows he can beat him.
Yeah. And is there any interference in that match? Refresh my memory. I don't remember.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so it's a clean victory for Stone Cold. And that's it. That is it for the double feature King of the Ring 98. What did you think rewatching this match after 13 years?
It was it went by like it was pretty quick. I was
Yes.
surprised how quick it went by. Like that was a 20-minute match and it flew by.
Yeah. And same I would think with the Mankind Hell in the Cell. If you take away all the hubbub after like everybody attending to him after he's tossed off the cell, it is relatively a quick match.
Yeah, yeah, but like I mean, a 20-minute match is still quite a little while. I just mean in the sense like that went by quick. Like, wow, okay, that was entertaining. That was good. That was what it needed to be.
Yeah, very fast paced.
Yeah. How many
And
moves did they really do? It was mostly brawling, I would say.
mostly brawling and a couple of chair shots here and there, and then of course you have the added storyline of Undertaker and Mankind. Was he assisting Kane? Was he just going after Mankind? Do you take Undertaker's word for it that he was helping Kane, or do you just go
I
by
don't.
ouch? But
Well, the freaking guy turned on Kane and what, a year now? About a year later, and he admitted to setting the fire because Kane was weak. Come on.
no, 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 he has not admitted to setting the fire yet.
Yeah, I said in a year.
Oh, okay, okay, yes.
That's why I say I don't. But that's why I don't trust them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At this point, it's still unknown. Sorry, everybody, for the spoiler. I'm sure.
They have not been in cahoots yet, as Vince McMahon would say. But yeah,
Well,
um,
they were a little bit at the Rumble.
until Kane set him on fire.
Yeah, well, they were in cahoots before though, because Paul Bear was pretty distraught about it, that he lost his son to the dark side or whatever.
So much shades of Luke Skywalker to Darth Vader.
I never thought of that. That's funny.
But our next chapter would be fully loaded. The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mankind and Kane for the Tag Team Championships. And funny enough, Randy Turco and myself have discussed that match in our walkthrough of Undertaker's Tag Team Championship victories. So it's going to be interesting to get your perspective as well, because, Randy and myself coming in as two Undertaker fans, being, so happy to have Undertaker's first Tag Team Championship victory. So it's going to be interesting
I
to have.
I've never seen that match.
Oh, even better to discuss it then.
Yeah, and what's after that? Is that breakdown? Well, I guess we'll have to look at
After that
who
would
is
be,
they
well,
lose down on Raw, right?
they Undertaker and Austin lose it, I think 2 weeks later to the New Age Outlaws.
Oh, I thought they lost it to Mankind and Kane back.
Do they? They do. That's right. That's right. The first offense is
Kane
against the
pins the
Outlaws.
Undertaker, does he not?
That's right. The first offense is against the Outlaws, which they win. The second one is the Kane, Mankind, and Kane pins Undertaker with one tombstone. So we can, if you want to do a double feature of that, we could do the Undertaker and Austin winning, and then Kane and Mankind regaining.
Yeah, that we'll have to. But
And then
who do Kane and Mankind? They must lose to the Outlaws then.
they will
Oh, that's
close at SummerSlam.
so. Yeah, so are is Kane tag champ in that triple threat WWF title match?
Triple
Or
threat.
no, fully loaded is July.
Fully
So then
loaded
August is SummerSlam, so it's September breakdown.
September's breakdown, which I am
Oh, okay, that's the
familiar
one.
with.
I saw your shirt, but that's the one I was thinking of. Okay, so Kane's not WWF. He's
No,
not tag champ going into that match. Okay, that's what I was confused about. I thought we were getting in a breakdown already.
no. You got to do the fully loaded, then we get the breakdown because we're skipping SummerSlam. Because the Undertaker match with Austin and the tag team match, there's nothing really, with Kane there for you really to discuss because I don't think Kane's not even in the match with Foley,
He appears at the end in the dumpster.
and he appears midway through the Undertaker match. But
Yeah,
so we'll
there's
go right to
nothing to.
we got fully loaded, and then we go right to breakdown, and then we got Judgment Day, and then we're off into 99, I believe. You got the Buried
This
Alive.
is
He shows up in the Buried Alive to bury Undertaker.
yes,
To look up, got to see about any Raws too. So we'll see. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to this saga, as you will.
yes.
Yeah. So you heard it here, Creatures of the Night, that our next installment of the Undertaker and Kane saga will be Fully Loaded, 1998, where the Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin win the tag team championships from Kane and Mankind, which will also be another double feature where we will be watching the Monday Night Raw episode where Kane and Mankind regain the championships about 2 weeks later from Austin and The Undertaker. So I am looking forward to that, especially since you have not seen that match. Gonna see about your first reactions and everything. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
I cannot wait. And as always, it is awesome to have you here, Kanenite10. I love the saga we're doing, and I can't wait until next time. So, any parting words until we hear from you next time?
I got nothing other than I'm excited to see that tag match.
We all are. We all are excited to see the tag team match, and I'm excited for you as well and to hear your reactions. So, until next time, same Taker time, same Taker channel. Keep on rolling, baby.